Hey guys. So for today's episode, it is more of a visual one. It is with my friend Atme, and it's really funny, and we're both really excited about it. But I will say, it was really loud. We couldn't film in my apartment because it's a really, you can really hear everything. It's really noisy. And I'm not about to kick out my family. I feel bad. So the only place that we could record this was outside, and it was a really windy and loud day, but it's still pretty funny. So this is more of I think of it as like a visual YouTube video. But yeah, I have found a way to upload all of this into Apple Music and Spotify. So as in a week from now, actually, I think by the next episode. I already have the next episode filmed and edited, but I think I'm gonna wait till Saturday morning to post. Because I want some space in between. But yeah, I'm really excited. The episodes are now gonna be on Apple Music and Spotify, which is gonna be I'm gonna take this seriously. Honestly, this is gonna be a fun project for me. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, hello guys.
Hi, Lucia's podcast.
Hello. So today's episode, I have a guest joining me, and also a lot of background noises that are about to pass because there's an airplane passing by. Yeah. So I'm here with my friend Atme.
Hi guys.
I've known her since I was in 5th grade.
Literally since 5th grade.
Since
so basically 11 years old. That's almost a decade.
That's actually insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you think about it.
Damn, that took a lot of time with you.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's just
That's like a lot of time with you.
No, pero it's like a lot of time, you knowing me. Me and Atme are both, I think we're the only ones in our friend group who went abroad.
Yep.
She recently just did her first semester abroad. She took a gap year, and she stayed back in our hometown in Miami for a year.
Miami and Tallahassee,
yeah. And I think she was fitted to do the comparison between the US and Europe when it comes to colleges, especially for example, my brother's in the process of applying to colleges, and he doesn't know whether to go abroad or stay, and I feel like this could really provide us an intel to really understand what's the difference between day-to-day life.
Yeah, day-to-day life in the US. Going to school in the US,
it's super different from
going
Europe.
to school in Europe.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's different for everyone. There's preferences for everyone. So, yeah. So, I've written down on my notes app things that we're going to cover, but I think first we should really introduce you.
Okay. So, well, my name is Atme, and yeah, we already got that. And how we said before, I've known Lucia for almost a decade now. And when she told me that she was starting her podcast, I automatically jumped at the idea. I was like, I'm so down. Let's do it together. You can do a podcast we can compare Europe, since we're the two only girls from our friend group, and close friends that decided to study abroad. And yeah, now I'm here, and I'm so excited to share everything with you guys, because I think it'll be an interesting podcast. So yeah.
Where do you go to school?
So I go to school in IE University. I study economics, and I'm doing the program that's 2 years in Segovia, which is like a small college town, 30 minutes away from Madrid. And wait, what? I lost my train of thought. 2 years in Segovia and 2 years in Madrid. And right now I'm in my first year, since how Lucia said, I ended up taking a gap year because of some complications. Complications.
You were originally going to go to Rome.
I was always going to go to IE. That was my first choice. But applications came around. My mom was kind of hesitant about me going to IE. I don't know anyone in Spain.
Oh, yeah, because the difference between the two of us is that I'm European. So I've already lived in Europe, and I was basically moving closer to my family by going abroad. But this girl just took the lead because she's not even European. Are you?
Bro, my dad is Italian. I have a European passport. Damn. 10 years down the drain.
Okay, no. But
better way of saying is she grew up in Europe.
Okay, see.
I didn't grow up in Europe. I lived in Miami basically my whole life. But my dad is Italian, and I have a European passport.
Yes, that is correct. Sorry, that is correct. You do have an aunt in Spain too, right?
And I have an aunt in Spain, in Madrid actually.
Okay. But you hadn't really, you went to visit Spain
I went to visit Spain for the first time during the summer before my gap year started, and I completely fell in love with it. And yeah, actually my original choice was to go to Madrid, but my friend's parents, which are also Spanish, her dad went to Spain, and they just convinced me that I have to start in Segovia, that it's a college town, that it's amazing and super fun, that you form your group, your family, which literally, quote unquote, did happen. And yeah, and then I ended up visiting the campus, and I chose Segovia. And so far, it's the best decision I have ever made.
Okay.
So what about you, Lou?
So I study in London, as I previously said. I grew up in Spain for 10 years. Then I moved to Miami. And then I lived in Miami for like 9 years. I was 1 year away from like doing equal in both places. And yeah, I mean, my experience in Europe is really different from your experience, because when I came to visit her, it very much did feel like a college town. It feels like you have like the college experience.
Because she's also, like, let's mention the fact that Lucia has been to Segovia too.
Oh yeah, I went to visit her this semester. And my experience in London is very much big city. We have this, I call it a clubbing society, in which we have kind of like a club that rents out clubs, like a society within the school that rents out clubs in the city. So sometimes like once a month we'll have like a clubbing night with the entire school, but that's about it. We don't really have like a bar that everybody goes to. Everything's super expensive. Half my school just goes to Mayfair clubs. So it doesn't feel like I have the uni life unless I go to places like Bath, Oxford, like Segovia. And Atme very much does have like the uni
more
life.
University college town life, we would say.
Exactly. Plus she's close to a big city too. So if she wants to, she can go to like big clubs too in Madrid.
Exactly. Like by train it's 30 minutes, and by bus and car it's just an hour away from Madrid.
And they're actually super comfortable to travel within. The train is super fast and like nice.
Yeah, it's like 27 minutes. It's
and the
quick.
bus had like a TV on it too.
Yeah.
It's so modern. I've driven to Gainesville from Miami in a bus, and that shit was
me
ratchet
too. Miami
compared
to Tallahassee. No.
There's nothing compared to like the buses in Spain, bro. They're so nice.
Spain is just Spain.
Let's get into like day-to-day differences. Because I definitely experienced, especially with...
We definitely experienced different experiences.
But
we're both living in Europe, so at some point it's still similar.
Yes, I feel like, I don't know if it's because of the weather, because most of our friends go to school in Florida that are in the US, but my experience when I came to visit like UF last year is that people are always out and about. They're barely in their dorms. They're always meeting up. They're always doing something.
We're talking about like the differences?
Yeah, between the US and Europe. And I feel like they're always out at, I love club events. Nobody's ever in their dorm that much. At least from like what I experienced last year. Everybody's always out and about. And I feel like because it's sunny, everybody was always meeting up at the parks and doing things outside. And nobody would really have a lot of alone time. I don't know if that was just what I experienced with my friends when I came to visit, like 3 times. In London, and I actually talked about this with another friend that studies in London, it's always like you live in your apartment half the time, and then you sometimes meet up with friends. I don't know if that's your experience.
I would say it's similar, but the only difference is, well, let me give a little bit background context. During my gap year, I basically went to Tallahassee and FSU basically every month. I made the calculation and I was there every month.
She was so proud of that.
I am not proud of that, honestly. I could have made so much money, but someone decided to go visit their ex. Now their ex.
It happens.
Every single month.
It happens.
And but you know what? Money leaves and memories stay. Were they good memories? I don't know.
Actually,
I don't know. I'm kidding. Okay.
No. No, but actually.
No, yeah,
I
it was
have a
nice.
poster
It
of
was fun.
Este es viaja. El tiempo se va, pero el dinero vuelve.
Exacto. That was a 2023 lesson, by the way.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, I was basically in Tallahassee a lot. But I guess since my ex basically lived, I got like somewhat of the dorm experience because he had a dorm and an apartment. And while being in the dorm, I think it was nice because of course you had to get along with your roommates and suite mates, but you were basically living with your friends all the time. I would say you didn't get a lot of privacy, but definitely in an apartment, while I was staying in the apartment as well, it was a little more like isolated. So I feel like, at least from my point of view, I felt like he didn't have the full college experience living in an apartment somewhat far, well, like 5-10 minute drive from like campus, but you're still not in campus. That's more like you're independent, you have your apartment, you go to class, you drive back, maybe you see a friend. So I feel like it is a little more different.
Okay, so maybe the difference is between dorms and apartments, because that was basically kind of
Maybe
like
too.
my lifestyle. Because at least in London, I know some schools don't, but at least in London, the dorms that you get are not like your school's dorm. It's just like student residencies around the
Yeah.
city, and then anybody from any school from any age can just live in like the room next to you. So
Wow.
it's like, it's when you go to the common area, it's not like everybody from your school. You
Is
cannot,
there.
you cannot just be like, oh, I'm meeting up with this kid from class at the dorm. It's like, it can literally be like a 35-year-old doing its master's.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very different.
Miami, downtown Sam.
So in general, I would say like Tallahassee was fun, but definitely not my vibe. And I can say definitely not your vibe either for like Gainesville, since they're very similar.
I mean, honestly, when I went to Gainesville, I really liked it. But
But do you see yourself living there the 4 years?
I think I would go crazy after a year.
Exactly.
I think
I could do there like 1 year.
Uh-huh.
Like I had fun during that 1 year, but I feel like more than that, it'll just get like too repetitive. And you want, like, you're growing up. When you're like 22, you don't still want to be going to the strip, you know, going to 10, like with the same clubs you've been going to since freshman year.
I guess it's just a really different experience too. When it comes to, for example, like frats. I went to my first frat party
Oh my god,
in
the frat.
August. Actually, I mean, I went last year for Halloween, but according to my friend Lucia, yeah, she has the same name as me. It wasn't like a really good frat, and I was just really confused half the time. But I went to like my first darty.
Dirty.
Those are
Day jam.
day jams, day parties, day pool parties for UM. And
Oh my god, the frat day parties.
The
Okay,
frat-
those I got to give them to them. Those are fun.
yeah, UM has a really good lifestyle compared to like
Yeah.
the other schools, I feel like.
No, yeah, definitely. I feel like UM has like those day jams, those day frat parties, whatever they're called. Those are really fun. The ones at night were just like too musty, too like meh. But during the day, remember we went to one, like it was fully like American, and this girl was dressed like she was like in Ibiza in Europe. Like no.
They told me pool party. I didn't know that you actually had to come in a bikini walking around the streets of Miami.
Yeah.
So I came in my bikini and my long, I think it was this skirt.
It was no, it was the same skirt but in white.
Okay, it was the same skirt in white, but I love wearing long flowy skirts. So I wore my long flowy skirts. Everybody was in either booty shorts
With
or
her-
their thong.
With her little what are the Spanish shoes called? Espadrillas.
Is it? Esparagatas.
Espadrillas.
I think we have different ways of saying it.
Bro, I remember what Alvaro said.
Oh. Okay,
Espadrillas. I don't
There's
know.
different kinds, pero mine is esparagatas. Or maybe like Madrid and Canarias have a different way of saying it.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah. No, I wasn't prepared for that, to be honest.
That was a really fun place thing.
I really like the UM lifestyle. If I could afford it, I would have done it. don't know.
I would have to disagree with you there.
Actually?
I like UM and it sounds very fun, but however, I would not go there just because I feel like it turns you very materialistic. Your mentality changes. You're just surrounded by like, I would say maybe like quote unquote new money, and everyone's just like, it's always just a competition of like who has the most things, who has the nicest things. So I just feel like not from personal experience, from what I can see, like as a third person point of view, like going to the parties, going to this, I could just feel like it's a very materialistic ambience.
It is I mean, I see that in my private school in London a little bit, because it's like a lot of people with a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell. Actually, one of my professors actually made fun of this kid for coming in with a Gucci backpack.
No.
Yeah, because she was talking about how money like rules the world in like society, and she was just like, yeah, how some of you bring in like Gucci backpacks when you could perfectly come in with like something from Tesco. I was like, oh, okay, girl. Tesco's like the Publix.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, girl. You're really calling them out.
Damn, she really did.
She really did call them out, but I can see that, honestly.
Because the thing is, from what I noticed, like, I go to IE and it's also considered like a rich kid school because it's an expensive school for Europe.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that energy. Like, a lot of people come from like wealthy families and you can see like the brands here and there, whatever. But you don't feel like that materialistic ambience. Like, everyone's just so humble. Like, bro, I have a friend that his grandmother, like, they were royalty in Spain. And man worked in 7-Eleven. Like, man worked in 7-Eleven.
The way you said that, men worked in 7-Eleven.
Like, it's just a different like ideology maybe. So like you can feel like there's money, but everyone I feel like is just very humble. Like you don't feel that materialistic ambience that you would feel like in UM, for example.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, I entered the UM world in August, and I'm very excited to enter it in a week and a half because she's leaving.
I'm leaving, but she's staying for Silly Week.
I'm staying for Silly Week, so I'm very excited. It's one of the
You're gonna
pros.
have so much fun.
I'm very excited for the dirties.
Silly Weeks do be the best,
Silly
especially
weeks are
when you're not
fun.
in the school, so you don't have to deal with like syllabus or anything.
Yeah, last Silly Week, I kind of showed up to campus, and I would tell people, like, I'm by the pool, by the way. And I would be at the pool of UM, and, like, Carla and Clau and Fernand would just pass by.
Really?
That was just me all day. I would be so bored because everybody left back to college, and my school starts late.
I kind of forgot to mention this early on, but we kind of like sidetracked, then sidetracked again. But I feel like over there, I have friends that are in residencies. It's also kind of like the dorm experience. But for example, I live in an apartment. And well, you were there. Like my best friends live upstairs. My people in my class live right next door to me. But it's in a way, it's kind of like a frat house. Like everyone has their own apartment.
Well,
But
Atme's house does feel like a frat house. There's always people coming in and out. I love it though.
Exactly. Like my best friend. My best friend.
Her best friend.
My best friend lives right upstairs. He's always like throwing prees. So it's kind of like, I would say in that ambience, like, because you said it, having an apartment in London, it's like you're in your apartment. But when you live in an apartment that all of the students are from IE, it basically it's like a dorm, but having your privacy. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. No, it did feel kind of like that because everybody lives so close to each other there.
Yeah, the apartments are super close.
Yeah.
Everyone, like, great. You met Grace. Grace is in econ. Lewis is in econ. Lucas in econ. So, yeah, it just feels very family. Like you see them every day, and they at some point it's like they become your family. If you need help, if you get sick, they'll be there for you.
One thing that I want to touch upon is like school spirit. One thing that I want to touch upon is school spirit. I think both of our schools are really similar, to be honest. They have a similar vibe. But for example, when I went to Bath, I don't think Oxford did not look like, at least the school that my friend goes to in Oxford, it's not Oxford University, didn't have that much like school spirit. It's kind of like us too. Although, okay, well, we'll get into that for a second. But in Bath, for example, everybody was super school spirit. Everybody goes to the lacrosse games. Everybody kind of like the tailgating of Bath is going to the lacrosse games and going to pubs after, like all day. So
nice.
yeah, so that's kind of like their school spirit. And at UF and FSU, the football games are like a huge thing.
No, yeah, I definitely feel more school spirit in American schools. Like you would be walking around campus and you would at least see like 5-10 people wearing like the school's merch.
Even today, I went to when I was in Whole Foods, a girl was wearing a Gator merch. I was like, what?
Like, for example, in IE, like there's not really like school spirit. Like our mascot's a chameleon.
Mine's a wolf.
At least that's better. Mine's a chameleon. Like a chameleon doesn't show power. It shows like.
A chameleon's smart, no?
I don't know.
It kind of hides.
It kind of camouflages. Oh wait, it camouflages.
Yeah.
Well, the point is that I feel like the community of IE and together, everyone's very nice and like and sweet, and they'll be there for you. No one's, I would say, is rude or mean. But as to the fact like, oh, go chameleons, that's not really like a thing there, I would say.
That's the thing that I miss. I don't really have school spirit. I don't even have like the experience of like going to the dining hall. I don't have a dining hall. I never. You didn't either. Well, I don't know about you.
Yeah,
you do?
You I think it was like you passed
you
by
told
it.
me, yeah.
I just don't eat there. I eat at home.
Okay, yeah. I never had the option of having a dining hall. I know the Boston campus for my school does have like a little dining hall, and it does. They told me that it does feel like a school spirit there because it's like a bigger campus, and you do have like the own dorm of the school. But in the London campus, I don't. Like, I don't have a dining hall. I don't have
building,
anything.
right? It's kind of like
It's
the
literally,
tower in
yeah.
Madrid.
She hasn't come yet, but she's going to soon, right?
In February.
In February.
In February. I'll be there.
It's literally a building. I live in front of the school because I got really lucky with my apartment. And
That's so nice.
yeah, and I've always just eaten at my house. And I guess that's kind of like one of the things that I found really lonely last year is that I was dating my ex-boyfriend at the time. I would see my ex-boyfriend being like, yeah, I'm meeting up with my friends at the dining hall. And I'm like, oh, great. I had to eat at home by myself in my little tiny dorm with my little tiny kitchen. I lived by myself
Your
last
kitchen
year.
was so cute, I remember.
It was so small. And then I would meet up with my friends maybe later. But, like, we would never have meals together unless I had to spend money at a restaurant. now I do invite people over to my apartment to cook meals together, but it
You
doesn't.
used to have like a bigger apartment before you lived in a residency.
Yeah, now I have an apartment where I invite people over to eat with me, and like we do all the time, and like we do a lot of stuff in my apartment. But it's not the same vibe of going to the dining hall and like running
Meeting up
into
with
other
everyone.
people.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I low-key wish I had my freshman year. But yeah, I don't know about you. I don't know if you like missed the school spirit. I low-key would have enjoyed having like football season. I don't know. I've never experienced it, so I don't know if I'm like missing it because I didn't have it.
I mean, I never went to an actual football game, but I went like to one or two tailgates in Tallahassee. And maybe I don't know if it was because I was getting stressed out in the moment, but like I didn't really feel like it was fun. But I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything like being in Spain now. Like my tailgating, my school spirit is literally just being with like my closest friends and drinking together, and then we go somewhere here or someone there. Everything's like so walkable. It's just a different experience, and and I personally would rather have something like that than going to a tailgate basically.
Yeah. Actually, you mentioned the drinking. I was gonna touch upon independence and about how I feel personally. I just feel more respected. Especially my professors, like my first week, they were giving me recommendations for pubs to go to.
I can touch base on that.
We talk about like drinking with your friends and like having fun with your friends. You go to like the hills.
The hills, yeah.
I explain to them the hills.
Oh, okay. The hills is basically, how do we explain this? You walk basically like 25 minutes. That's from my apartment, but my apartment is mostly like in the central area of the college town, because Segovia is actually a pretty big town.
Yeah, it is.
But the college town area is somewhat small. So from my house, it's like basically like 25 minutes, I think we took. And you walk up, and it's, how do you explain the hills? Like you walk up to, like up these little hills.
It's basically you walk through a forest. It's
Not
really
a forest. Okay, yeah.
okay, no, but it is a forest. It's
Okay.
really pretty. It's a really pretty little park, and then you climb up this hills.
Hills, and you end up in a hill, like a flat hill. And you basically just go there with your friends.
And
And
you
drink.
overlook the entire castle. You forgot to mention that there's a freaking castle.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that in Segovia, like the Disney World castle is based on the castle in Segovia.
No, it's a really, really pretty castle. So while you're drinking in the hill with your friends, you're overlooking the Disney castle.
It's very magical looking at the castle, the view, the landscape. Definitely in the sunsets. I would say the sunset. It's what I mostly notice more than the castle, if I'm gonna be honest. The sunset, and just like spending that quality time, I would say, in nature with your friends, enjoying a glass of wine, enjoying a beer. You can't find that in a school in the States, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe you can, like if you go to Illinois. No, I don't know. I don't know any schools in like, I don't know many schools.
I mean,
But you know the point.
you mean like a hill where you can drink?
It's not the same.
It's not the same. I mean, looking over the fucking castle and drinking, I don't think you can find that anywhere. Not
You can like go in a forest and drink with your friends.
That- but it's-
some like foresty like town, and there's a college there.
yes.
But it's not the same.
It's giving Vermont, but without the castle. Anyways, yeah. So I was talking about independence and drinking, but on top of that, I mean, also for clubbing, I have anxiety. So whenever I go clubbing in Miami, unless it's an 18+ event, I go crazy.
I agree. Now that I don't have a fake either, it's just like it's such a hassle. Like I don't even like. For example, this break, I did not even feel like going out. I'm like, if I know I'm not gonna get in, I'm not gonna waste my time and money and on Ubers and going here and back when I can just like comfortably on the couch and like watch Bones.
You used to watch that show in middle school. You're still watching it?
You know, when I was taking care of the golden retrievers, it popped up in Amazon Prime, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it.
You know, whenever I see that show, I remember, like, I haven't watched it, but whenever I see it pop up, I think, oh my god, Atme used to be. Did you have a fan account? Or am I going crazy? You know? You did.
I know I was obsessed with Booth, like
Oh,
the main character.
okay.
One of the main characters.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, getting back on track.
Getting back on track.
Talking about independence, the amount of like I used to be so scared of like flying alone. I used to be scared of spending like doing everything by myself. For example, I got sick there. I got strep throat in London, my last week there, and I freaked out. And the fact I had to like figure out how the UK's like health system worked, and they really fucked me over because I went to the GP. GP's like the nearest medical center that you're registered in based on like where you live, and they basically told me that I had a 6-hour wait. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't like I couldn't eat anything. Like I was on the verge of like actually passing out. And I had to wait 6 hours. And then I was like, is there a way that I can get up in line? And they're like, oh yeah, you have to download this app. I tried to download the app and it says it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go to a private doctor. Because if not, I was going to
choice.
die. Yeah, I didn't have any other freaking choice. So I paid £100.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
That wasn't fun.
I think like the stress of figuring out another country.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but I can't relate to a certain point. Mainly because... like I've gone to the hospital in Segovia before, but not for me. I've been there like to accompany my friends.
Okay.
To accompany my friends just for like moral support, I guess. But I have no idea how like the doctor would work or like
Your
anything
time will
like
come.
that. No, my time did come, but I did not go to the doctor.
Atme.
I was extremely sick. Not extremely, but I was very sick. Like I couldn't, like I just wanted to sleep all day. Like I could not get up. Literally during finals, I was feeling horrible. Like I couldn't even like stand up to make food. But I was raised more like in a holistic, natural way. So my mom would just tell me like remedies to do at home. And lucky for me, like I had my friend upstairs, my best friend upstairs, that honestly like basically took care of me. He would try to cook for me. If I needed anything, he was there for me. Am I exposing myself too much?
I'm like,
okay, but he was basically like, that was my experience being extremely sick, and I hated the cold. I hated it. Oh my god, it was the worst. But yeah, but how Lucia, like sidetracking into what you had originally said about independence and feeling more respected, I completely agree with that, because since the drinking age, like here you're an adult at 18, but you can drink in Europe at 18 too. Here no.
Here at 18 is
Vote
and buy a gun.
Vote and buy a gun.
That's all you can do. That's the only respect I get. Like, hello?
And you can only do that once every 4 years, and no one's gonna buy a gun.
Well, people do buy guns.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, well, maybe people.
Well, we don't even use that right.
Yeah, we don't even use that right. But sidetracking again, I agree with that, because literally right after one of my hardest finals, which was my macroeconomics class, the professor took us out for drinks. He took us out for drinks, and like I wasn't there officially, but like I was passing by Plaza, and I see like some of my classmates, like 10 of them, with the professor there with the drink, like buying them drinks, like buying him drinks. Like the professor was buying the students drinks. Yeah, okay, they get it. And I was just like, whoa, like it's different. Like you will never find that in Miami and like the States, because classes range from like 100 students and up, and plus the drinking age is 21, and no professor has the time to get to know anyone like that.
Yeah.
So in that part, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I have winter ball and the spring ball, and they always give me free champagne. And one time this guy kept buying bottles of wine, and he gave me a full bottle. I think he was too drunk, and he was just like, toma para ti, and he gave me a full bottle of wine. And I was like, okay, I guess I just have a full bottle of wine by myself now. Obviously not by myself, but too much. Like I got it for free.
yourself. Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, we know. Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. Because I have down a full bottle of white wine by myself.
Okay, then that's fine.
Multiple times.
That's fine. That's fine.
Like recently.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. We'll get through it. Okay, bueno.
By yourself?
No, I mean, obviously I'm not sitting in my house drinking a full bottle of wine by myself. Admin, that could be like, I have had a couple. No, okay.
Okay.
Let me defend myself. I have a glass of wine whenever I have pasta, just because I like romanticizing my life.
Okay, she likes romanticizing her life.
And when I have like a sad day, I know that if I have a barefoot white wine glass with my little pasta,
It'll make it better.
and a little bit of Friends, my life is set. Friends, the TV show.
Nice. I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
We love Friends.
But obviously I'm not gonna down a whole bottle of white wine by myself. I feel like that could be crazy. I do have a friend from the Netherlands that he has like 3 beers a day by himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I have beer by myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I need to know where like the point.
It's not, I don't know. I'm never by myself.
Yeah, it is
Trust
true.
me, I
You're
will-
always with people.
Trust me, I would love to have some like alone time sometimes, but like everyone's always at my house, and it's like it's not like I really can kick them out.
We
So, like-
literally left for what?
Oh yeah.
We left for a full day to Madrid when I
Wait.
came over, and her friends stayed over her house the entire day.
And they did not move. They were in the same position from when I left and when we came back. So yeah, it's just like that type of ambience that I feel like you wouldn't find it here like in the States either, even if you had an apartment. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, and the last thing is, what are your plans after? Like, did you move to Europe to study, to stay in Europe, or just to experience Europe then and then like come back to the States?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I love Spain, but I also love Miami. But I don't want to come back to Miami and struggle to make a living because, as many people would know, Miami is very expensive. And I want to be able to enjoy life, travel. And obviously, like, it's much easier to travel in Europe. But honestly, it just depends. Like, go with the years, see what type of job opportunity or business. I don't know what can happen. A lot can happen in 3 years. If a lot can happen in 1 year, a lot can happen in, like, 3 years.
That's so true.
So
I don't know why. I always think that my life is not going to change in a year, and I finish school in a year. And I'm like, holy fuck, what do I
So
do
much
now?
change.
But I could fully be getting like a job offer. I could fully be
Yeah.
having another boyfriend, and I have to move in with him
you
somewhere.
could fully be getting married. You could fully be opening a business.
I'm not getting married in a year.
Oh yeah, you're graduating in a year. I still have 3 years to go. I'm safe.
Are you married next year, Atme?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know to what?
No comment. Okay, bueno.
Lucia, you should marry yourself this year.
I am gonna marry myself this year.
You should go to Greece, go to an island, and marry yourself.
Why Greece?
Because Greece is beautiful. An island in Greece? Who wouldn't want to
No,
be in Greece in an island? On an island.
Yep. There's also really beautiful other places in Europe. Actually, I really like Mexico. I look at wanna go.
Tulum?
I've never been to Tulum.
I have to take you to Tulum.
I'll go.
Tulum it is. That's our next stop. That's gonna be our next podcast in Tulum. When we're famous, you'll see us in Tulum.
I'm very
Together.
excited. Yeah. Okay, well, that's about it. Any other comments, Atme, or?
Any other comments? Well, for Lucia's little brother, you'll make the right choice if you study in Europe. I'll tell you that. You'll have fun.
He actually wants to go to IE.
Go to IE.
Okay.
Make it. Go to IE. You'll love it. But if you're, I don't know if you're looking for. There's not a lot of Spaniards in the Segovia campus, but if you want to expand your horizons, definitely go to the Segovia campus. You'll find your family, you'll find your group of people, and by the time you'll get to Madrid, you'll feel much more mature to be living in a big city by yourself. That's 100%.
I feel like I got pushed off the deep end too quickly.
She got pushed off the deep end. Like, imagine like just landing in Miami and be like, here, no car, no nothing, find your way.
Well, it's actually kind of scary. I forget sometimes I did that.
Yeah, except you're with Británicos. You're with British people.
They're so dry sometimes.
Yeah, they don't say hello properly with a kiss. They're like,
They also get super scared when I talk super loudly and when I'm like super like energetic. I'm a very
they get scared.
they don't know how to react. They're like, I'm like, yeah.
Yo.
Okay, bueno. So
I think this is it.
yeah, I think this is it. Thank you for listening. The wind just got a little bit more crazier. Sorry for the airplane noises. We really couldn't do much about it, but I think this is more of like a funny episode.
It'll definitely be a funny, interactive,
Exposing
and
Atme.
no, a funny interactive episode. And if you're a senior in high school, if you're deciding you want to study abroad, I hope this video helps you.
Do it. It's worth it.
100%.
Every penny.
Every single dime. 150 the beer.
150, bro. In Spain, yes. In London, it's £7. You don't want to do that.
That's Miami prices.
Sometimes it looks worse than Miami prices.
Oh, that's horrible.
Okay, bueno. Bye.
Bye, guys.